All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. If you are watching me live, you can just say hey in the comments. Let me know that you're here. I like talking to people instead of just talking to the computer screen. So if you're listening live, just say hi. And if you're watching on the replay, I'm glad that you're tuning in for this. So, what I want to talk about today, I'm going to get right into it because it's all fresh in my mind. I just sent out an email about how to support your metabolism. So, I hear this from women a lot and I see it all the time, especially in women who have dieted in the past. So, they've either restricted calories, maybe it's been for like a month or 6 months or even a year or two. They've been pretty restrictive with calories and maybe they've exercised on top of that, and it helped them to lose weight. So, a lot of those women who have lost weight in the past from cutting calories and exercising are now experiencing issues with their weight and they're feeling like what they used to do doesn't work for them now. So I see it in those types of women. And if that sounds like you, or if you've ever followed a diet in the past and you lost weight, I want you to just let me know in the comments. The other women who I hear this from is ones who are in their 30s or moving into their 40s, and they're finding that what used to work for them just doesn't work for them anymore. So they say like they can't get away with eating certain things because they'll gain weight. And on top of that, too, they're just like, what the heck is going on with my body? Like things are changing. I'm holding on to fat. I feel tired. I feel more irritable. Maybe I'm bloated all the time. Like I can't sleep. And so those are some other things that I hear. So either chronic dieters or have dieted in the past, and now that same type of diet doesn't have the same effect as it did. Or maybe you are getting older and you're noticing like your body's going through some changes. And it's normal for it to go through changes, but it's important to understand what's going on with your body so you know how to support it so you can still feel really good and you don't feel crappy. So really quickly, I'm going to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I haven't done a Facebook Live here in a while. And if any of this resonates with you and you want to invite a friend into the group, please do that. I love having women who support each other and who have the same goals and are interested in these things that I'm discussing in this group. So invite them into the group, tag them in this video, let them know that they should watch it. So quickly, I'll just introduce myself. I am Megan Crozier. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner and I work with health conscious women just like you reach their body composition goals and figure out what truly works for them so that they have the energy, the confidence to show up as their best selves every single day, and really understand how their body works, so they know how to balance their hormones, how to improve their digestion, and how to feel confident in not only in your body and with how you look and how you feel, but also with your food choices and your health choices on a day-to-day basis. And also doing all of this without feeling deprived or restricted or really anxious about your health. And I know that's hard in today's day and age because of all of the information and misinformation that's out there, which is often misapplied to the things that we need to do as females. So I like to help women figure out what works for them without following random arbitrary food rules or just simply eating less and exercising more, because it doesn't work and it doesn't work in the long term, and it causes this metabolic compensation that I'm going to talk about in today's video. So with all of that, let's figure out if your metabolism is struggling a little bit. So if you're feeling any of these things, and I'm going to list them out, these are all signs of metabolic compensation. And without getting too sciencey, basically your metabolism it's not static. It's not just slow or fast. It's not hereditary. You're not born with a slow metabolism. Your metabolism is adaptive and reactive. So it adapts based on the input that we're giving it. So if we're cutting calories and we're exercising on top of that, that's stress on top of stress. And then we have all the life stressors that we deal with on top of that. So all of that is going to cause your metabolism to be more efficient and shift into this survival mode where it wants to hold on to energy, and it wants to hold on to energy in the form of storing fat. So just simply at rest, you're not burning as many calories. And it also slows everything else down. So it slows down your digestion, your energy, which means that your sleep is going to be off, your hunger signals are going to be off, your cravings are going to be off. So with all of that, it's really not a matter of your metabolism being broken. It's actually doing what it needs to do. It's just adapting in a way that's helping you to survive. We don't want it to feel like it has to be in survival mode. So we want to do things to change that, and you can if you understand what's going on. Okay, so let's get into the signs of metabolic compensation. So the first big one is moodiness, irritability, depression, just really low moods. So maybe you're like snappy at your kids or your partner or your friends, and you feel like you don't have the tolerance for anything anymore. And maybe you're also just like really lacking motivation, and you feel like you don't really want to do anything. Like it just, I mean, I know 2020 has been a lot, but like we should still feel like we are intrinsically motivated, like we're excited to get up in the morning, and also like we don't have to snap at everyone around us if things are going on. So that's the first one. The second one is low body temperature. So maybe you actually have a low body temperature if you take your temperature with a thermometer, or you're someone who just is always cold. So you're like the coldest one in the room always. You always need like a jacket or long sleeve, even if it's warm outside. Your feet are cold, your hands are cold. That's a big red flag of compensated metabolism. And also all these things that I'm talking about tie into thyroid hormone as well. So if you are hypothyroid, or even if it's not showing up on lab tests, you could possibly have some low thyroid issues that are also causing these signs and symptoms. So just keep that in mind. The third one is low energy. So maybe you feel tired and sluggish in the morning, throughout the afternoon, like you really want to take a nap around 3 p.m. That's a big red flag. Another one is sluggish digestion and constipation. So ideal digestion, you should be going to the bathroom every single day, at least 1 to 2 times a day. So if you're not pooping every day, then you are constipated. So sluggish digestion is a big red flag. Another one is difficulty losing weight. So that's the one that is in the forefront of most of our minds. Like we feel like we hold on to fat no matter what. It's really hard to break through a weight loss plateau. Like maybe you have lost some weight, but now you can't lose any more, or you just want to lose weight and you don't see the results that you feel like you should see for the amount of effort that you're putting into it. Another one is brittle nails, and like thinning hair or hair loss, and dry skin. So I know it's winter right now, so like everything is kind of a little bit more dry, but just on a regular basis, you should feel like you have really strong nails, really strong hair, vibrant skin. Those are all good indications of metabolic health. Whereas whenever we're losing hair and like our nails are breaking easily, and we have really dry skin, that's a sign of, again, thyroid issues and a slower metabolism, right? Because we understand it's adapting. So, and then the last one is brain fog and cloudy thinking. So maybe and I hear this with women a lot, they have low energy, digestive issues, can't lose weight, and brain fog. So ding, 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 right there. It's like, okay, we're going to look at your metabolism. But with that, so brain fog, you just feel kind of like you can't focus throughout the day. You walk into a room, forget why you walked in there. You can't seem to remember things. So those are all the signs and symptoms that I want to go over. There's a lot more, but if any of those sound like you, I want you to just drop in the comments. Let me know like what it is you're struggling with out of all of those. How many can you relate to? And is there one thing in particular that's like really standing out in your mind that's bothering you? Just let me know in the comments. Okay, so like I mentioned before, understanding what metabolism is and what it is not is really important. It's not just fast or slow, and it's not just we eat food and then like how quickly do we burn that food off, or how quickly do we lose weight versus gain weight. What metabolism actually is a connection between your brain, your hormones, and every cell in your body. So your hormones are communicating with the cells in your body, telling it what to do. So this is why your metabolism is closely connected to your thyroid hormone, your reproductive hormones, your blood sugar hormones, and your stress hormones. These are all integrated. You don't have to know the science and mechanisms behind all these hormones, but you do have to know that nothing works in isolation. So as you work on one thing, and you improve your habits in a specific area, it's going to also improve your hormones in other areas. So the last thing is to keep in mind that your metabolism is adaptive and reactive, and you can change it and you can improve it if you're giving it the right input. So first, what doesn't work, and then I'm going to go over 4 tips that will help you. So what doesn't work first, these are like some of the most common myths I hear about, like revving your metabolism or speeding up your metabolism. So the first one is eating small, frequent meals. This does not make any difference with your metabolic health. If anything, it probably just makes you hungrier more frequently because you need to keep giving your body that fuel every couple hours it's expecting it. And it can also lead to blood sugar issues, sleep issues, and also a lot of cravings, and really feeling moody and anxious whenever you don't get food. Another one thing that doesn't work is chronically overeating. Obviously, we know that now. That's kind of like what got us to this place in the first place. So chronically eating does not work. Chronically undereating does not work. And also layering in on top of that, cardio. So doing chronic cardio is not going to help to improve your metabolism. If anything, doing the same workout, especially those long endurance workouts or like a 60-minute spin class, or a 5K run, it's going to make your body more efficient. So it's burning less calories with that same amount of exercise. And the last thing that doesn't work is, I feel like a lot of us hopefully know this, but I just have to say it, is any type of like fat burning supplement. Like there's no magical supplement or pill or thing that you see on an infomercial that's going to help improve your metabolism. So with that, and if you've done any of those things, let me know. I used to fall prey to literally all these things because it's all I knew from reading like women's health magazines, and I was a big runner, so I'd read like runners' health magazines and things like that. So I used to eat small, frequent meals, which were mostly carbohydrate-rich meals with granola and low-fat yogurt and things like that. Obviously, I was a chronic undereater. I've talked about that a lot before, just in the information that I shared. And I definitely thought that certain like fat-burning teas and supplements and things like that would help. So if you've done any of those things, you're not alone. But now we can talk about what you can do to support your body, to support your metabolism, and improve it. So I don't want to say that it's broken, but you can think of this as like, okay, my body has adapted, my metabolism is doing its thing, it's compensated in a way that is making it harder for me to lose weight, it's, making me have less energy, more cravings, just not feeling like myself. So we can do these things to give your body what it needs, and help to speed your metabolism back up, or just get it working as it should, so all these different adaptations aren't happening in a way that's negatively impacting our health. So the first tip is to make sure that you're eating enough. So you have to be eating enough for your metabolism to work properly, to let your body know that it's safe, to let your body know that it's okay to actually burn calories, even when you're not exercising. And also just overall, it puts a lot less stress on the body. So 1,300 calories, 1,500 calories a day is not enough. And if you've done this for any extended period of time, this is why we look at dieting history with my clients to see like what they've done in the past, because that definitely affects what will work for them now. If you've gone long periods of time under 1,800 calories, then you probably need to do some work to get your metabolism back up to speed. So I recommend not going below 1,800 as a baseline to start. And I would say 90% of the women that I work with are usually not eating enough. Even if they think they are, once we actually track it, plug it into a calculator for like 3 to 5 days, they find that they're not actually eating as much as they think they are, Or if you're like, oh, no, 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 I'm eating a lot because I literally snack from 4 p.m. until I go to bed. The problem there is that you're probably not eating enough earlier in the day. So we look at those patterns as well, making sure that it's not, you're overeating at night because your body's literally hungry and it needs those nutrients. And you're just having like a tiny breakfast, or you're fasting till noon and then you're having a small lunch. Like, then you're going to feel like you're eating a lot the second half of the day. So we want to make sure that, again, 1,800 calories at a minimum. If you need to keep a food journal to get a better idea and kind of gauge where you're at as a baseline, then that's really, really helpful. And if you find that, or maybe you already know that you're eating 1,500 calories a day, I want you to start slowly increasing it. You will not gain weight. You have nothing to lose. If you feel like, oh, no, 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 I can't go over 1,200 calories because I'm going to lose fat, it is, even if you did gain 5 pounds, it is going to be that healing 5 pounds that actually helps you in the long run to lose the weight that you want to lose. So eating enough is the first thing that you have to do if you want to lose fat and support your energy and your digestion and your mood and your sleep, all of those things. Okay, tip number 2 is to eat blood sugar balancing meals that include protein, carbs, and fat. So I'm including all the macronutrients. We just have to figure out the right balance for you. So some women do better with high carb, low fat. Others do fine with lower carb and higher fat. But for all women, the thing that really stays consistent and where I want you to focus is protein. So I want you to think about having a protein source with every single meal. It should be a key component. It helps to balance your blood sugar. It's going to help you stay full for longer. And it's going to help build the muscles that you need for a healthy metabolism. So I promise if you increase your protein, it's really, really hard to overdo it on protein. So increasing your protein with each meal, your energy will improve and you will find that you stay full for longer. So if you are dealing with cravings, it helps a lot with that too. And another strategy that kind of ties into this blood sugar balancing concept is to find your unique carb tolerance. So I do not like restricting any one macronutrient. A lot of women make the mistake of maybe following keto and they do it for too long, which is going to be harmful to your metabolism and your hormones. Or maybe if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you did low fat. But we want to find a good balance. And I find that the key to this is really to individualize it. So you know what type of carbs and how many carbohydrates work for you. When you can figure that out, it is so empowering because you're not actually restricting carbohydrates or restricting sugar. You actually can add it in because your metabolism is flexible. So you can handle those types of food and you feel totally fine. So that's the ultimate goal, is to have blood sugar balancing meals, find your unique carb tolerance, and a flexible metabolism so that you can have carbs and enjoy them. And you feel full, you feel satisfied, you're not riding that blood sugar roller coaster, and you're not, trying to avoid certain foods that you feel like you can't resist. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is to change up your exercise. So whether you are exercising maybe 7 days a week, going to Orange Theory, spin classes, going for runs, if you're on that end, or if you are maybe kind of giving up, you're on the couch potato end right now and it's just hard to motivate yourself to even go for a walk, which for a lot of the very driven, ambitious women, I feel like we fall more into the first category, or maybe we did in the past at least. Like, you can think of long periods of time where you were on that workout kick. Either way, I want you to restructure your workout so that you are focusing on strength training first and foremost. So strength training, even if it's just 20 to 30 minutes a day, and you can be doing body weight movements or you can be using dumbbells. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't need a gym at all. But this is the best thing that you can do to build muscle mass, which is what gives us that toned look. So it's not going to make us look big and bulky. It's going to help us actually lose fat and put on muscle in a way that makes us look more toned, which is the look that a lot of females are going for. And since you're increasing and supporting your muscle mass, you're actually also supporting your metabolism. And you're burning more calories simply at rest. So people who have more muscle mass will burn more calories simply at rest, just not doing anything. Their basal metabolic rate, or BMR, is going to be higher because they have that additional muscle mass. So adding in strength training is really, really helpful for improving composition and improving your hormones. I could not recommend a fat loss program or protocol that didn't include strength training for it to be effective. So things to consider. If you feel like you need more structure around this and you want to get a customized plan, that's something that we can talk more about, and we can talk more about like exactly what that looks like. But just know that it is really important. And if you are doing a lot of high intensity workouts right now, and you're doing them just to burn calories or because you feel like you're addicted to that, like stress relief or that, dopamine hit, I want you to scale back on those, and I want you to just think about movement throughout the day. So walking throughout the day or aiming for 10,000 steps a day is going to be more effective for fat loss and for your metabolism than working out for an hour, doing an intense hour of workout and then sitting all day at your desk. So that's one shift that you can make if you're someone who's stuck in that like super go exercise mode all the time. I want you to scale back on those, take 20-30 minutes to do some strength training, and then just walk. And that alone can help most women break through a fat loss plateau, and you will see shifts in your weight if you make that change just by itself. Okay, so that was the third tip, is to structure your workouts appropriately. And then the fourth tip is to lower your stress hormones. So this is something we go more in depth into in the Body Rebalance program, which is a 10-week program. So we have more time to touch on this stuff in depth. But what's important to understand, and again, you don't have to know the mechanisms behind every single hormone and how they work, but we have cortisol, which is our stress hormone. And cortisol has a direct impact on thyroid hormones, on hunger hormones, on sex hormones, and on blood sugar hormones like insulin. So it causes this downstream effect on everything that can throw off our energy, our digestion, our sleep, our cravings, our metabolism, all those things. So we want to get a handle on those stress hormones first and foremost. There are a lot of ways to do this. The first thing is just recognizing where your stressors are coming from. So for a lot of people, for example, like lack of sleep, if you're getting 6 hours of sleep or you're waking up throughout the night, your body is going to be under a chronic state of stress the entire day. So really prioritizing sleep, 8 hours of quality sleep. And if you have trouble either falling asleep or staying asleep, we go over strategies for that in the Body Rebalance program as well that will help you. But other things, and again, it's all individualized, so depending on where your stress is coming from, I can make recommendations accordingly. But another one that's helpful for people who drink a lot of caffeine and are fueling their body on caffeine all morning long is cutting back on that coffee and drinking more water with sea salt. So water with sea salt and minerals is going to lower your stress hormones tremendously. So that's just an example of like one simple shift you can make to lower stress hormones. Also, going back to the exercise and the movement, leisurely walks, aiming for 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day is really, really good for lowering hormones. And double whammy, you're also burning fat, you're supporting your metabolism. So just to recap the 4 tips, these are all the ones that I just went over. So the first one is eating enough. Don't go below 1,800 calories a day. The second one is to eat blood sugar balancing meals, really focusing on the protein, specifically having a protein source with every single meal, and then balancing it out with the fat and the carbohydrates. Again, individualized there, but something that we can figure out more. Tip 3 is to structure your workouts appropriately. So really focusing on the strength training, really incorporating those long leisurely walks to help burn more fat and not put your body into that stressed out state, which goes into the 4th tip, which is to lower your stress hormones. So more specifically, lowering cortisol and making sure that it is following along with that natural curve that it should be, so that we have energy, we're sleeping well, we don't have cravings, and we're not holding on to fat, we're not storing fat. So those are the 4 tips. If you guys have questions on any of those as you're watching the replay, You can let me know in the comments, obviously. I'll come back and check on with them. And if you're struggling with your metabolism, or you feel like something is wrong, like the signs and symptoms all check out, and you want to know how to work your way back up to being able to eat and exercise in a way that feels sustainable and supports your energy and helps you to lose fat so you can feel more confident, then I want you to book a free strategy call with me. So we can talk more about what you've tried in the past, what you're doing right now, what's working, what's not working, and all of those different symptoms that you're dealing with right now, and figure out what you really want to focus on, especially as we move into the new year. It's a good time to kind of reevaluate and figure out what we want to do moving forward, and also just getting the support that you need. So you don't have to go through these things alone. You don't have to keep Googling information or looking for different diets and things to try. You can actually get like a customized approach that'll really help you. So I want to mention that you can definitely book a free session, especially if you've watched this entire video to the end. And then the second thing is, I mentioned the Body Rebalance program a couple times, and currently it's not open for enrollment. That will happen at the end of the month. But what you can do right now is sign up for the waitlist. So I'm going to put a link to the waitlist for the Body Rebalance program. And if it sounds like something you're interested in, then get on that list so you can get the early bird pricing. And you'll get an email as soon as enrollment opens. And then also, if you think of anybody else who might enjoy the program, or it sounds like it would be good for somebody that you know, whether that's a daughter, a mother, a sister, something like that, coworker, then you can share that link with them as well. So that is all that I have for today. I just, again, want to recap that if your metabolism is working properly and we're giving your body what it needs, it's naturally doing its thing, we're supporting all of the things that matter, then losing fat should not feel hard. You shouldn't be struggling with your energy or digestion or PMS or sleep issues or anything like that. You shouldn't have to struggle to feel like it's a ton of work to lose weight. So I just want to put that out there. If you're doing the right things and you're giving your body what it needs, then you will naturally find that weight that really, really works for you, that you feel good, you feel confident in. And that's what I want for all of you guys. So, all right, that's all for today. Have a good week. Bye.